A cool mau mau, a cool mau mau pa. Ho my, ho my, ho my. Ho mai ka iki mai luna mai ona mea huna no awe mele ho mai ho mai ho mai ho mai ka iki mai luna mai ona mea huna no awe mele ho mai ho mai ho mai ho mai ka iki mai luna mai ona mea huna no awe mele Hele hoi akala o malka o kona. Hele hoi o makai, wherever you come from. Kakai yaka e komamai. Good morning and welcome. Unity of Kona. What an honor it is to be here this morning in Kailua Kona, Hawaii, sharing the blessings of the world, blessings of God to the world here at Unity of Kona. And an honor to be your guide here this morning as I start off. My name is Jim Carey. And as we start with the Hawaiian prayer chant, we like to start with the Aomai prayer chant, beseeching the Great Spirit and our ancestors who dwell with the Great Spirit for the wisdom of the stories being told, a higher octave. Why would we be telling these stories to the children? And the highest octave. Oh, grant us the wisdom of life experiences that become our stories. For with the knowledge and the wisdom of that experience, we never have to repeat them over and over again. So the prayer chant, the Aomai, what an honor it is to be here. As we start, I'd like to ask everybody please stand as we'll do our affirmation for the month, vision and mission statements. Affirmation for the month. It's a 21-day complete free life. Together, we each breath, I let go of complaints, gossip, and criticism. I embrace harmony and contentment now, and so it is. Here at Unity, we come together with a vision as a world family of oneness, peace, and love, with our mission to inspire spiritual growth and service through the active practice of love, prayer, faith, joy, and honoring everyone as a child of God. And as we like to open our service with music, we'll have our choir come up, and we're going to do our One Big Family. So remain standing and sing along with us, my friends. No, they're out. They're all out. We're rocking. Be quiet.
Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Woohoo! While we're all standing, time to take a moment to greet one another. We'll wander around the sanctuary and say hello. We haven't joined you for a week, so now it's our time to say this good morning fellowship. And if you're joining us online, please leave a little comment in the comment section, as we'd like to take a few moments. So give us a moment, and then we'll greet everybody, as we always like to do. Welcome, my friends. I could search somebody else off their daily word if you want. This is always so much fun as we gather here at the Kona Unity. What an honor it is to be here sharing the things we've fallen in love with in spirit. And as we come together in unity, we got a great crowd. It's so nice to see all the smiling faces here this morning. Some things just can't be hurried. You just kind of relax. It's Hawaii style. And I say, nobody tailgates, nobody blows the horn. It's all Hawaii style. We just let things happen until they call it Hawaii time. Well, and now's the time in our service we'll like to greet our guests and visitors. So if there's anybody here in the sanctuary that's new or first time, or maybe it's been a while since you've been here, we'd like to ask people, please stand and give us your name and where you're from. Welcome. Hi, Jerry. From Anchorage. Nice. Well, welcome, Jerry. Aloha. How about you guys? Awesome. Well, welcome, Joshua. What's the little one's name? What's her name? Kataya. Aloha, Kataya. I got to welcome the little ones. And so I guess that's about it. If you're joining us online, please definitely leave that comment, because we always like to throw out a great big aloha and God bless you. Welcome. Thank you so much. And don't forget to join us upstairs for a little snacks after service. We have a little bit of fellowship. And so what an honor it is to be here as we get started with our service. And so thank you for sharing. And now I've asked Patrick to come up and do our daily word for today. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a question here. Oh, hi. I recognized you all. So Pete and Linda. So welcome back. Absolutely. Yeah. They didn't want to stand up, so I was kind of keeping it incognito for them, but that's okay. Virginia threw you under the bus, guys. It's all good. So welcome back. Absolutely. So Patrick, you do our daily word? Thank you, my friend.
Okay. Good morning. So the daily word for Sunday, November 12th is faith. Faith heals, prospers, blesses, and sustains me. Sometimes I wish I had a way of looking into the future and knowing what to expect. But even though I cannot know how the future might unfold, I can still be prepared for it through the power of my faith. Having faith means that I have unwavering fidelity to spiritual truth. My faith is my anchor, keeping me steady during shifting worldly circumstances and focused not on things of the world, but on the power of spirit. My faith keeps me steadfast in the midst of uncertainty, inventive when met with stagnation, and adaptable when faced with changing circumstances. I turn my attention to God and feel my soul illumined by my belief that everything is working for good. I align with this truth and go forth, blessed by my faith. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians. And if you will say the affirmation with me, it's up on the board. Faith heals, prospers, blesses, and sustains me. Thank you so much.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Patrick. I appreciate that. Now is the time in our service where we get comfortable in our chairs as we visualize the sanctuary. And as you take a deep breath, rest your eyes if that feels comfortable as we visualize also the sanctuary of your soul. As we take a deep breath, we visualize this moment as a beautiful heart and start to feel the loving energy of those around you flowing in and through you. See this energy flowing around every person, every being on this earth and in this world. And if there are any events, circumstances in your life or anyone you know, and let's pray all for the world itself as we all see this in the center of what we've just created, this most beautiful, loving heart. And as we breathe life into the prayers, as a gathering family of unity, we'll gather now and say our prayer for protection. For the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Mahalo kea kua. Thank you, God. Now is the time in our service we have special music. I'd like to welcome Michael as an artist and passionate contemporary American fingerstyle guitarist, a singer-songwriter with an ear for a creative side and a world fusion genre. His orchestral compositions offer equal parts world and new age, an array of Middle Eastern rhythms and scales with tinges of folk and infusion of Celtic overtones. Michael is one of those rare artists who has a strong sense for his Western musical roots, yet can make beautiful, sophisticated forays into the music of the East. His innate fretboard work and technique is known for his seductive, smooth quality. Michael is currently living in Taos, New Mexico, and he performs at Unity at Kona several years ago, right here in Kona. And it's a pleasure now to welcome him back, Michael Mandrell. Thank you, Michael. My pleasure.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Lovely to see you all again. like to play a piece I composed, a little guitar instrumental to start things off. This is called Shining Child.
Thank you so very much, Michael. What an honor. Now is the time in the service where I'll introduce our speaker for meditation and message today, and it's our own Kayla Harvey. I'd really like to welcome our president on the board as she continues with the 21-day complaint-free challenge with speaking up with compassion and intention. So please give a warm welcome, Kayla Harvey. Thank you, Kayla.
All right, we're going to go into meditation now. So just take a moment and find a comfortable position in your seat. Shut your eyes if that feels good to you. Feel your seat rooting you down into the ground. And your arms and legs hanging gently at your side. Begin to feel your body relax into this place as we center into a time of reflection and connection with ourselves and spirit. Think of a moment in this past week where you were feeling less than neutral. A time where you were even just briefly down, upset, anxious, or irritated. It could have been something small, like a long line you experienced, or a deep, difficult argument with a loved one. Think of a situation and the facts of what occurred for you. Take a moment and feel the sensations of that experience. When you're ready, try to name the feeling the sensation brought up for you. Maybe anger or sadness, hurt, fear, worry, whatever it may be. Find the word that best fits. Clarifying our feelings honors our experience and opens the door to further insight. In that moment, the moment of upset, there was a part of you that experienced an unmet need. Sitting with that feeling, knowing of what occurred, take a moment, listen within. Take a moment and consider what you were needing in that time. Let this thought linger and explore. Were you needing clarity, acceptance, space, ease? Naming our unmet needs illuminates our personal why and increases conscious awareness. In doing so, we take our power back, the divine power of choice, allowing us to respond and be the love that we were always born to be for ourselves and for the world. Take a moment and sit with these thoughts. Honor you. Honor the love that you are. Remembering at presence, you are here in this space, safe and at ease. Taking this moment to listen to your feelings and needs honors your truth and your divine nature. When you're ready, feel into your body again, remembering where you are. Feel your seat in your chair. Begin to anchor back into this space Turning back to the now. Feel your feet on your ground. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms and legs. Returning back into this presence. Come back into the now. Return, and when you're ready, open your eyes back into this space together. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was beautiful. I hope we all had a moment to check in with times that were difficult. And also remember that we're here together in this space, present for this reflection. Okay, you guys. Welcome back to week 2 of our 21-day complaint-free challenge. So for those of you who were not here, we started last week and embarked on this new challenge of finding ways to reframe the distress and dis-ease within us so that we can find a new way to honor them and we can feel better by expressing in ways that feel good. So we've embarked on a challenge to try to find different ways instead of complaining and to do so for 21 days in a row. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm getting a lot of practice. Anyone else practicing? Yeah, it's okay just to be practicing. Practice is good because we have to remind ourselves, though we used to think it took 21 days to create a habit, new research is showing it takes anywhere between 18 and 254 days. The average is 66. It's an average of 66 days of practicing before something becomes automatic. So remember, however many days you switch your bracelet from wrist to 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 wrist, every time you notice that, oh, I did it again, that thing I don't really want to do, it's just practice. You're getting closer every day to your 66 days, or however long it takes to shift our awareness. Because remember, if we don't get started, you'll never get there, and the time is going to pass anyway. Time is going to pass anyway, right? It's going to march on. So you might as well practice building awareness. Because we use this, our voice, is one of our greatest vibrational frequency creations. So we might as well take the time and practice speaking what we want and shifting, not speaking what we don't want. Using that intention. So when we went into this, I thought, great, I get it, okay? We want to be more aware. We want to respond and use more of our Christ consciousness. But then when I started to think about the practicality of not complaining, I got a little concerned. I'm a therapist. I know people need to vent and say things. I get that. So I wasn't sure exactly how we were going to do this, how it was going to both honor us and what we're feeling and create out of joy. So I was a little skeptical when when Reverend Sophia proposed this. I thought, okay, all right. I'm willing to see what you got here. And I wasn't sure. I don't know about you. I didn't know how we were going to deal with when we were really upset. Until that is, she said, okay, Kayla, your work is going to be NVC during that week. NVC, nonviolent communication. And I went, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Okay, she had a plan. There is a way for us to express ourselves, honor that part that's upset, but not create from that upset space. We're going to talk about those times when we need to share, when it's important to speak up. And when we do that, we're going to use NVC, nonviolent communication, as a way to foster our own inner growth and understanding of our distress. A way to use our authentic communication to honor ourselves, but also be in compassion when we do it. And also a way to turn painful moments into opportunities for connection and understanding of each other. because that's what we have the tools to do. See, the problem is not in just seeing a problem. Let's go ahead and call it contrast. It's okay to recognize contrast in our lives. Recognize things we'd like to be different, maybe a little better, things we'd like to shift, opportunities we see for growth. It's okay to notice those things. Ooh, didn't love that, would love that to be better. Oh, if it was only like this, that could be cool. I'd love to grow into this thing. That's okay. The problem is not in seeing a problem. The problem is in stewing in it being a problem. How we utilize the information and how we express that, right? You see, complaints, we've talked about, are really just judgments. They're personal assessments about a situation. They're my perspective of what I don't like. When I express my perspective of what I don't like and I judge and complain, usually I'm just reinforcing my own upset, right? And I'm reinforcing my righteousness in that situation. And I'd like you to agree with me. I'd like you to say, yeah, that's awful. Can't believe they said that. I feel better, right? I feel good in that moment. But in that complaint, I lose sight of the lesson, what the universe is showing me, the opportunity that exists there. And I often lose sight of compassion for the other person or whatever's happening there. And I lose sight of problem solving. Now I get into blame. Usually in our judgments, our criticism, our complaints, I'm finding that the solution is in somebody else. They upset me. They need to fix it, right? But what happens is I either give it away or I say, it's unsolvable. I have given my power away, my power to respond, right? To react, to act with response. I have given that away. But that's where my power lies. So complaining in that base form isn't really useful. But it doesn't mean that things don't need to be said and that there aren't times when we need to talk about things. So I'm going to tell a little story that exemplifies both when complaining maybe isn't useful and when there are ways and times when we need to speak up and we can do it in a way that's helpful. There's a cute little story called The Frogs Who Desired a King. It goes like this. Once upon a time, in a marshy land, there lived a community of frogs. They had no ruler, and seeing other animals with kings, they began to desire a king of their own. The frogs gathered in their pond, and they started complaining and croaking about all their lack of leadership, their voices filled with dissatisfaction. One day, they prayed to God, asking for a king. Please, God, bring us a king. We are so unhappy. Nothing's happening. Please, please. Soon after they prayed, a log floated their way, and they felt, ha-ha, our prayers have been answered. God has brought us a log king. So exciting. So for a while, they got really excited, and they croaked merrily, praising their new monarch. However, it didn't take them long before they realized a log couldn't really provide them with much guidance or protection. Not as much as they had hoped for sure. So they began to be discontented with their log king. And it spread amongst all the other frogs, and they began to croak and complaining again. Oh, they were so tired of each other and their complaining that they decided to go back into prayer. And they prayed, please, God, please send us a real king. We don't want this log anymore. We want a real king. Soon after their prayers, a fierce stork, big and tall above them, showed up, and the frogs took this as a sign. This must be our real king. They began to celebrate and jump. However, the stork, looking down on them, began immediately catching up the frogs and devouring them one by one. This is not what they wanted. This is not what they expected. They soon realized their complaints led to a terrible situation. They were all jumping in panic and trying to get away. They quickly gathered in the nearby log, and they tried to have conversation while the stork was pecking through the log trying to get them. It was in that moment they realized we needed a real meeting. No more complaining. We actually need to sit down and figure out our current needs and find a solution to this very real predicament. They realized that unity was their only strength, that coming together and truly hashing this out, they collaborated together and devised a plan to rid themselves of this mean stork. When they were jumping high in the air in panic, one frog had spotted an alligator laying stealthily in the reeds beside them. The group thought, great. They led the stork, unwittingly, all together, jumping towards this alligator. They jumped above the reeds and jumped surprisingly on the sleeping alligator's back. And as the stork jumped through the reeds, it came in contact with the equally surprised alligator, who was more than happy to take on this new fight for them. So as the alligator and the stork celebrated and situated themselves out on their own, the frogs happily jumped away and realized from then that complaining without taking constructive action only made things worse. So by coming together to communicate, understand each other's needs, and collaborate, they were then able to find a solution that worked for everyone. I think we are a lot more like these frogs than we want to admit to ourselves, right? Sometimes we stand around and complain. We don't really want to fix it. However, when we don't want to fix it, a solution presents itself, and it may not be the thing we wanted. So for us to take appropriate action, to not give our power away, sometimes we have to find a different way of speaking than just complaining about the thing we don't like. Sometimes it's important to share our complaints in a constructive way. Other times it's not so important. You ever heard it's important to think before you speak? Yeah, I only realized that after I've already said something that I thought, oh, that wasn't really helpful. That really didn't make me feel better, and it didn't really help anyone in this situation. Then I remember it. But we do need to think before we speak, and especially now, I think that's what we're practicing with this no complaints journey, right? And actually, they have made this into an acronym, and it's being used in the schools a lot. I thought it was kind of cute. So to figure out whether or not what we are distressed about needs to be said, is useful, is something we should say. There's a little acronym, think. We can ask ourselves, oh, a little quick on the draw. Is what I'm saying true? I think that's the first one. Is what I'm about to say true? Because if it's not true and it's gossip, we don't know if it's true. Probably it doesn't need to be said. If it's true for me, that's a good start. I share what's true. What's at least true for me. Is it helpful? Is the thing that I'm distressed about, that I want to complain about, is it going to be helpful to share? Now, sometimes it's helpful to share something for yourself. It helps you. That's okay. It can be a start. It has to be helpful or useful in some way, right? Otherwise, we're dragging ourselves back through the mud, and then what? We're all going to be muddy? It's a thought. Is it inspiring? Is what I'm going to share going to be motivating? Will it inspire action? Will it help something get done about it? If yes, that seems like a good thing to share. Is what I'm about to say necessary? Do we need to rehash what happened? Now again, I think sometimes we do. If you're really upset, sometimes it absolutely is necessary to say something. Other times, I might just re-upset myself. And then it's not even helpful for me, let alone necessary. It's just questions we ask ourselves. And then lastly, is it kind? It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be upset with ourselves or with others. And it's even okay to express that upset. That is okay. And we can do it in a way, a unity way, a way that fits with our mission. of honoring and seeing everyone as a child of God. And so when we have those times, that's where we're going to use our NVC, because we can express things that are upsetting in a helpful way, in a truthful, factual way, in a way that inspires action. We can do it in a way when it's necessary, and we can do it kindly. We can. I got thinking about a lot of this week, and part of it was I noticed that every time my partner comes home, I want to share my day. Right? We want to share our day with our friends, our family, those we're close to. And I often want to share the best parts and the worst parts. Right? And I really started to notice this because we've been doing this. I started to think, why is that? Why do I want to share that I was on the phone with an insurance company for 45 minutes, then had to start the call again, and then I was on it for another 2 hours, and the person was quite rude. Why do I need to share that? Now, it's not wrong. It's not wrong to want to share that. I just want to get curious about myself. Okay, what is that about? Which is where we'll get to those lists that we have here soon. So we ask ourselves, what is the purpose? Does it need to be said? And through this, we're going to investigate that. And when we find yes, the answer is yes, I need to share this. I need to vent this. I need to express this. This is important. We need shifting. We're going to use our NVC. We got ways. We can speak about this because NVC is a way of thinking, speaking, and exploring upset. It allows us ways to get clear about how we or other people are feeling and what they're needing. It's used in diplomacy, in politics, in mediation and counseling, and even helps victims and rehabilitated offenders find ways to heal from what happened. It uses the principles of active listening, empathy, collaborative problem solving. In this process, and it is a whole process, you can read books on it, you can get really deep, but we're going to go simply today and just get curious. We're going to find a way to use this to seek understanding. Because when we use this, they find that it not only increases our understanding and empathy, it increases conflict resolution, reduces violence, improves team dynamics, and even enhances our mental health. It sounds lovely. I'd like that. So we're going to talk about how we can speak up with compassion and intention and replace some of those complaints with constructive dialogue. Constructive dialogue. There is an article that I found on Puddle Dancer Press. And it says, Dr. Marshall Rosenberg, the person who created NVC, traveled the world for several decades, mediating conflict and training people in NVC. He noticed that all over the world, in every culture, people are playing one of two games. They are either playing the game called Who is Right and Who is Wrong? Or the other is playing the game of How can I make life more wonderful? The first game corresponds with punitive justice and the ways it creates more disconnection, animosity, shame, guilt, blame, and depression, and is very costly emotionally, socially, and even financially. The second, however, refers to the ways in which we come together, standing in truth and compassion, so that we can each see each other's humanity and contribute to the making of a better world for all of us. Now, I know, I don't even have to ask you. I know which world you want to live in. We're here because we are people who want to live in this second world. We want to play the game of how can I make life more wonderful? I know you want to live in that game. I think we get caught up in the who's right, who's wrong game frequently, on accident, when our pain body is triggered. It's understandable. We have a lot of parts within us who've been in pain before. It's okay to honor that pain and help that part of us, but we don't have to live in this world. We can recognize this part of us and then shift. to the second world because we want to live there. And using these principles, we can live there. So how do we do this? This all sounds beautiful, okay? But now what do I do? If I'm mad about something, what do I do? How do I shift? Well, Marshall Rosenberg has a great quote for us that sums it up perfectly. Okay. He says, focus on clarifying what is being observed, felt, and needed, rather than on diagnosing and judging. This sums up this very long and complex process that has multiple books about it in one sentence. Focus on clarifying what is being observed. Notice the distress, observation, clear facts of what's happening in the situation, just the facts, not our interpretation of the facts. Observe, felt, what am I feeling? What is the other person feeling? What has come up? And needed. What is that part of me needing? What is that part of me unmet? What's happening within me? Rather than diagnosing, which is my evaluation, my perception, my personal interpretation, and judging, condemning, blaming, black and white, right or wrong. So we're going to focus on clarifying what is being observed. What are the facts of the situation? How do we feel? And what do we need? And if we can do that, we can illuminate so much understanding, so much light can come into the body. We can take a pause moment with spirit. Get the message. Because all of our feelings, they're just messages. They're just messages saying, hey, something is happening. I need you to listen right now. It's important. And when we act and react to someone else, we miss that moment to get in touch with the message inside of us. Spirit-given message. There's something here for us to know and learn. Even if it's just see your own needs, my friend. See what you're needing. Maybe that's why this situation came up. Maybe that's why that person upset you, because I want you to know what you're needing. It's a beautiful thought that even out of distress, there can be something lovely Spirit is sending for us. So we have a worksheet with us today to look at. We're going to use this to help us engage compassion for ourselves and others. So take a look at this worksheet. There is a portion that has feelings when needs are met. And you'll recognize these are all positive, wonderful feelings. When our needs are met and all of our parts in our system feel well and safe and okay, we feel these wonderful feelings. That's great. And when we're upset, when something happens, when there's distress, there's a part in us, maybe not all of us, there's a part in us whose needs are not met. It's telling us something. And when our needs are not met, it corresponds to distressing feelings. So take a look at all of those feelings, the negative, difficult, complex, painful feelings. When you feel any of those feelings, know that there is some part in you that is asking you to look at it, saying, please pay attention to me. I have a need and it's not met. It's asking for you to look. Our job is to be that loving sense, that loving presence of Spirit and say, what is it? What is it that I need? And you can look on the other part that has needs. There's another section that shows us what might you be needing. Sometimes we don't know. I don't know what I need. I don't know what that part needs. Look at the list. That's why we have a list there. You see, although NVC is meant for communication with others, it's a perfect self-reflection tool. All week I've been feeling into this. I've been about to say something to my partner like, oh, let me tell you that I was frustrated earlier because, I was needing, hold on a minute. So it's been taking some time to get our language right, to practice with this. But I'm noticing my internal complaints more and taking a moment to pause with myself in spirit. There was a moment I was sitting in traffic last week, Monday actually, right after we did this, and I was irritated because the traffic wasn't moving, you know, the light's green, but then people aren't going, and I'm going, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And then I thought to myself, wait, okay, all right, okay, practice this. This is what you're going to talk about. Okay, what am I feeling? I'm feeling frustrated. Why? What am I needing? I need efficiency. Okay, I need efficiency. Yes. Wait a minute, why? Even that dug deeper. Why do I need efficiency at this moment? Because I was on my way here, actually, to meet a client. I'm renting the space to meet a client, and I thought, oh, I found it. I need to appear competent. Wow, I noticed that in myself. It was like a perfectionism coming up. I needed to feel secure. I needed to prepare. I needed to be in control of the space. So I wanted to arrive at a certain time so I can do that. And then I went, oh, I feel anxious. Oh, found it. I feel anxious because I'm needing to feel competent. I'm needing to feel secure. I'm needing to feel prepared. I need to feel in control. Okay, wow, that's a lot of illumination for sitting in traffic. I could have just yelled at the other person in front of me like, oh, you blah, 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 why aren't you going? Ugh. And I had a moment where I felt that. But then going within, I illuminated so much more within me. I was not just frustrated, I was actually anxious. I could hear that part of myself, and then I could be compassionate with that part. I hear you. I got it. You just want to make this good. You want to feel more in control, which means I didn't feel in control and I was feeling anxious. Okay. And I didn't have to fix it after that. Just acknowledging that with myself was powerful. So going back to that insurance company thing, I thought, why do I need to share this? Okay. Well, in that moment, I looked at the sheets. I needed ease. I was needing respect. I was needing security, and that wasn't met. But why do I need to say it again? Oh, I think I was needing support. I was needing alliance, right, from somebody. I was needing my partner to say, oh, poor baby. Which is a Gottman thing, actually, in marriages. They tell you when your partner complains not to pick their complaint apart, that you're there to say, oh, poor baby, my poor baby. Right? Because they're looking for the need of connection, right? And I thought, do I have to say, I was on the phone with this insurance company and this lady was... Or can I just say, I felt stressed today. I had a hard call and I'm needing support. I need a hug. I just need some love. I need you to say, oh, poor baby. I could say that. And could that be just as effective? I don't know. I think it could. I'll keep you updated. I'm practicing. A lot of practicing. But these are the things that we're practicing doing. So what happens if, these are the things we're focusing on. This is what we're practicing doing. We're practicing and noticing the times when there's upset and we need to speak. What happens when another person, however, is involved and we're really upset with them and we might need to say it? What happens then? Have you ever tried expressing a complaint to somebody outright? You ever tried telling them, like, I don't like this. Why did you park so close to my car? You know, when you blah, blah, blah. How does that go? Because we've all done that. Okay, don't lie to me. I know you all done that. I did that. I've done that plenty of times. We all have done that, right? How does that go, truly? Do you find that eases the situation? Is the other person, like, totally at ease when you talk to them? They want to fix it? No, right? When you come up and you say, excuse me, you dinged my car, you parked too close to my car. They say, oh, well, I and you and over the line and that, right? They get defensive. We start fighting. We argue. Maybe they minimize your complaint. They ignore you. Resolution doesn't come from that. Not constructive, right? Not helpful. So instead of doing that, we're asking ourselves to look at the formula. There's also a formula on your sheet about how we might talk to others. Now, that one starts with when you, and I usually like to change it to I observed. I try to take the you out of it, but even if you use that, that's okay. Most importantly, we can simplify this just to I feel. I need. Oh, I feel worried. I feel worried that the cars are close together, and I think I'm needing some assurance. Right? If I see, let's say, if you go home from a long day of work and you had asked your partner to do some dishes while you were gone, and you come home and the dishes are piled high in the sink, instead of saying, oh, great, thanks for doing the dishes, so you didn't do it, thanks for not helping me, that complaint probably wouldn't be met with, oh, I'll do it right now, my dear. So sorry. Right? Probably isn't going to get you what you want. Instead, if you came in and said, oh, honey, I noticed the dishes are still in the sink. I feel a little distressed because I think I'm needing some support and some partnership. Now, that's a different conversation, isn't it? I feel I need. That not only takes away all the accusations, finger pointing and accusing of the you. It also says, oh, wait, I'm going to take some accountability for what I need. I'm needing partnership. Got it. Give some power back, and it allows them to respond with more Christ consciousness. You've given them space. They're not in their survival mode now. They're not against you. You're not against them. You've entered the world of, how can I make this world a better place for both of us? It's beautiful. So it doesn't mean, again, they need to fix it immediately, but it provides us a place for connection, understanding, and it humanizes each other. And so we can do this even when someone's upset with us. We might say to them, I'm wondering if you're feeling blank because you're needing blank. So instead of entering that defensive phase ourselves, even if someone doesn't come at us with the I feel I need, we might recognize that behind every complaint is a judgment. Behind every judgment, however, is an unmet need. Find the need behind the judgment. So we're going to see these as a time to connect with a person. There have always been times where we've been that person, right? We've been the complainer. We've been the unpleasant one. I know I have been the unpleasant one. I know that. My husband says never. Oh, very sweet. I have been the unpleasant one. For many of you, you have heard my story of being kicked out of England, right? I went over to be a nanny, and I did not have the right visa. It was a whole thing. It was a terrible thing because I had already sublet my apartment and sold my car and quit my job, and I was going to go do this for a year, blah, blah, whole thing, they hold me for 24 hours, and then they escort you to a plane to get back on a plane to take you back where you came from. So let me tell you, when I was escorted onto that plane, I was embarrassed. I was distressed. I hadn't slept. My whole year of my life I had planned out completely had crumbled. I was visibly upset. And I was trying to mask that in different ways. I was masking my distress with anger. We do that a lot. Humans do that. So I was like aggressively shuffling my things around right in this tiny seat. And I was very short with all the staff. I was being a jerk. I was a total jerk. I was rude. I made comments. I wasn't helpful. It was not good. And I was just being a jerk, and I could see that they felt it. I could see the staff looking at me like, what is this lady's problem? In fact, I was annoyed with myself. I could see their annoyance. I was really ready and almost waiting for a fight. I was kind of like begging for a fight. I was waiting for somebody to say, what is your problem? Literally, I was begging for someone to ask me. Because boy, did I have a problem, right? I was not well. And I was on another 14-hour flight back to where I came from, which is not where I lived. And I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I was very upset, right? So at some point, I had to get up to use the bathroom pretty early in the flight. It's also very me. And the flight attendant took me aside. And instead of saying, what is your problem, lady? And making a complaint about my behavior, she did the most perfect NBC thing. Didn't even know it at the time, but she said, I see that you've been really upset. You seem really frustrated. Do you need to talk about it? Now, I wasn't expecting her to say this. I was ready to fight. I was not ready to feel held and supported. So in that moment, I just broke down and I started bawling right there in the aisle because it was just so relieving that she saw me and I was really hurting. We could have had a fight in that moment, right? It could have been a problem. I could have been the person escorted off the flight later because I was a problem. But she heard me and she saw me. She spoke my feeling and asked me my need. And it was really connective and beautiful. And from that time on, I released tears. She must have told the other flight attendants. They were all very sweet to me from then on. I cried a bit, and I sat in my seat, and I was allowing myself to be vulnerable instead of angry. She didn't know it, but she changed my whole process. I was able to journal and cry and release and be with my sadness and get support from others who brought me an extra cookie, more tea, a blanket, whatever I needed on this flight. It was a beautiful process. This is what compassionate, constructive dialogue can look like. We can turn something from someone's being a real jerk to me to a connective moment between people who felt supported. I saw on this NVC website called Mind the Gap NVC, they said, hearing complaints, judgments, and grievances through the filter of compassion is an opportunity to pay attention to what really matters. By digging for buried treasure, our precious human needs, behind the complaint, we can connect to our values and take action to make the change we would like to see. We talk about being the change we want in the world and knowing that we are that change. This is a tool that Spirit has given us to be more like Jesus, to be more compassionate with ourselves and others. So I encourage you this week to just listen. Listen compassionately with your internal complaints. Ask yourself lovingly, what am I feeling? What am I needing? Does this need communicating? And when it does, discuss it in useful ways that serve both you and the reflection of God standing in front of you. If others profess complaints, ask what they might be feeling and what they might be needing. I encourage you to see distress and dissatisfaction this week, even if just for this week, as an opportunity for self-understanding. And also see arguments and venting as an opportunity for connection. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. What an honor it is. As we work through our complaint-free moments, it's like, okay, how are we going to deal with this? Well, now we got some tools to work with. And now's the time in our service where we'll take your gifts and offerings as you hold them in your hand. We'll do our offertory prayer. Lost something. There it is. All right, my friends, together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way. And as our ushers come forward, we have more music from Michael. Thank you so much, Michael. And there are ways, QR codes and stuff coming on the board. Many ways to donate to the church.
I thought this would be a good time to teach you a little chant that is sung at a lot of Unity churches all around the world. Really simple. I'll teach it to you, and then you can join in if you'd like. Called the Spirit Chant. It goes like this. I am Spirit.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you for singing.
Absolutely. Wow, I feel his chills. It's like, wow, just amazing music. So we really do appreciate you so much. And now as we do our offertory prayer and offertory blessing together, for through Spirit we know that as we give, so shall we receive. We dedicate and consecrate these gifts to do your will, your work in this center, in our lives, and in our community. And so it is. Mahalo keakua. Thank you, God. Now is the time we have a few announcements. As first and foremost, we are a prayer ministry. So you can download that Be Unity app. With the Be Unity app on your iPhone, Android, you get instant connection to prayer. Unity Village in Lee Summit, Missouri, with 30 days of consecutive prayer. We also have the prayer request forms in the back of the sanctuary. Please fill out a form, drop it in the box. Our chaplains pray over them here and send them on to Silent Unity. When two or more are gathered, the power of prayer is tenfold. So let's utilize these powers that we have as a community of unity. And so it is. Further announcements. Here we go. Team member of the month is Elaine. Thank you, Elaine, for all your loving service, devotion to the ministry. We are really, truly, so truly blessed to have your assistance as the board secretary. She prepares the newsletter and always shares yummy, delicious dining during the fellowship. So she's got all kinds of stuff up there today, too, I think. Elaine's willingness to offer whatever support is needed in her time sharing her time, talent, treasures is truly greatly appreciated. So you're a bright, shining light for all to see, and we love you, Elaine. Just a reminder now, again, tomorrow is the month, as in every Monday, from 6 till 7 o'clock, the community ukulele Kanikapila style jam session for beginners and experts here in the sanctuary. So please bring your ukulele. Some will be available for use. Come and learn, come and play, share us all. And Donnie has a special thing he wants to talk about that's happening tomorrow. And so please definitely join us. We need all the hands on deck because we got some special things happening. Do you want me to? You want a microphone? Well, then it's not. Okay.
Naleo TV is coming to do a little expo of what we do here. This Richard Gonzalez from Naleo TV is going around and trying to find out what's happening in our community to promote culture, and so he thought this ukulele class that we're doing on Mondays is a wonderful thing. So he wants to come down and he wants to do about a 15-minute. He'll be filming and interviewing some of the people. Anyway, if you plan on coming tomorrow, you'll probably have to. We want you to sign a waiver so that it's okay with you to be filmed and that type of thing, just so he doesn't get into any problems. So if you intend on coming, be aware of that. Okay, and we'd like to see as many people as possible to come down, and so that we have a nice group. We have about 8 or 9, but if everybody can come, we'll have a wonderful time. Okay.
Well, this community effort for Donnie, thank you so much, Donnie. As Naleo TV coming to do some filming, so it'll be the release forms for the video and stuff. So if you're around in the neighborhood, come and join us tomorrow as we're got a big gathering, and it's going to be put on the television. So Naleo here in town. So thank you, Donnie, for setting this all up. God bless you, my friends. And so join us for that. On Unity, we'll have another movie night coming up Friday, November 17th. The doors will open. I'm sorry, that's this Friday? Yeah. As the doors will open from 6 till 7 o'clock. Nope, that's 6:30. Yeah, or doors open at 6:30. The film will be Princess Bride. Oh, my gosh, what a great show. And it's like I should have had ready a line from that movie. That's a great movie. Yeah. We can do that. Oh. Okay, it's right there on the tip of my tongue, but way back there. But 6:30, definitely start the movie at 6:45. Movie is free, and individual bags of popcorn and gummies and bottled water will be for sale. No outside food or drinks will be allowed in the sanctuary, but definitely a community movie here at Unity of Kona, and that's this Friday, November 17th. So join us for the movie Princess Bride. This line keeps coming to my brain, but it's floating by. It's too much fun. It's a great show. Okay, I'll let it go. Unity will be participating in the 20th annual Kona Thanksgiving Interfaith Concert scheduled for Monday, November 20th. And so at 6 p.m., we're still looking for more volunteers to join in the choir for this event. There's a sign-up sheet in the back of the sanctuary, and so add your name to the list, and practice is every Sunday from 9 a.m. And then after service today, we have special George coming in to do his song with us, and so we're going to be presented. That's coming up on Monday the 20th, the annual Thanksgiving Interfaith Concert at the Lutheran Church here in town. 7 churches, I believe, or so, and gathering together, each church sharing 2 songs with their choir. So what an honor it is to have George coming in and sharing his music. So thank you, George, and thank you, everybody that participates with the choir. That's really been something else. The song we're starting with this service this morning is the other one I believe we're doing, and so it's really kind of cool practicing now, sharing it in service. And so with that, the board is also hosting a Thanksgiving Day lunch after service on Sunday, November 26th. A sign-up sheet is now being passed around for anybody interested in bringing side dishes. Because the board of directors is bringing the turkey, ham, green beans, casserole, mashed potatoes, and gravy. So anything else you might like to bring, sign it up and put it down here so we can have a feast here for Thanksgiving. Oh, good? And so that should be fun. That's November 26th, right after Sunday service. And as you know, it takes a village to run a spiritual community, so we appreciate everybody. Kindly consider supporting Unity of Kona, sharing your time, talent, and treasures. There are several sign-up sheets in the back of the sanctuary. Sally. As you consider, along with the refreshments sign-up sheet upstairs. And so mahalo, everybody. Thank you so much. Next week, we have our guest speaker, Reverend Sophia Falke. Her topic is Radiating Positivity, Embracing a Life Beyond Complaints. Learn how to create a life full of non-expansive, abundant, and free. Our musician next week will be Dondi. And so in closing, please feel free to tell your friends about the Facebook event, as the service will remain viewable on Unity of Kona's Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitch. And so as we hold each other in our hearts and hands, let's make a big circle and grab hands as we do our closing songs. Let there be peace on earth and aloha oi. Yes, dear. Oh, yes. Canned goods, please. We have the food basket happening up here. And so that wasn't on my, thank you. Oh, for the interfaith. Oh, for the interfaith concert, Monday concert, 2 singers and audience, 2 cans of goods. And that was your only cost for the interfaith concert. So making our big circle, what an honor it is to see everybody here this morning. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. As we take that little bracelet from wrist to wrist, just remember to focus on what is good in life and stop complaining. God bless you all. Until we meet again, we'll do aloha oi. Aloha oi. Aloha oi. Eke ona ona no ikali. Embrace, aloha. Hui ho and aloha. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget refreshments upstairs, and Michael's got some closing music for it. Thank you so much, Michael.